Westlake Charter School, August 2026 board meeting. Board Vice President Berman, you have the YouTubes.
Thank you. If you are participating via the live stream and wish to make a public comment, you may submit your comment limited to 250 words to admin@westlakecharter.com. Every effort will be made to read your comment into the record, but some comments may not be read due to time limitations. Comments received after an agenda item will be made part of the record if they are received prior to the end of the meeting. Amy, could you take roll, please?
Yes. Hope. Sean.
Here.
Josh.
Here.
Satvir.
Here.
Sally. Here. Amber. Here. Nirali. Here. Katie. Here. Celebration.
Hubba Bubba, what do you got?
Two, if you don't mind. One celebration is that John popped into my room today.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was so fun, and I'm like, everybody say hey to Dr. Ike, and I'm like, this is the guy that does the thing, and he does his thing, and he introduces the phone call. The kids are like, wait a second. That's the guy. And then he goes, and at the end I say every time, and all the kids did it with the let's explore. It was the cutest, but they were like, fame.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so
And
funny.
then the second is a celebration of math, and the students coming in this year are the first group of students where I've seen the majority of kids be able to explain the difference between a fraction that is equal to 1/2 and greater than 1/2. Like they drew it, they knew which one was greater, and they could explain why in multiple different ways. I'm like, I have not seen this before in a wide range of kids in my class.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's cool. Thanks, Sally.
I feel like I need to go to Sally's math class.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Me?
We'll get you brought up to speed. We'll get you.
That's the group that started kindergarten at home.
Yep.
Hot dog. There we go.
That's our group.
Yes, Josh taught all of the. Oh boy, Ms. Sanchez.
I coined a phrase today. I'm optimistically exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm super optimistic about the school year. I think that the work that we're doing on the front lines is great.
Yeah.
First 5 was awesome. Jessica Block is leading
Crushing.
with, she's just doing it magically. But we're all pretty tired on day 2.
Yeah, I would agree. Ms. Patel.
I'm going to celebrate the counselors. My son is struggling going into first. He has some fears. He's a very shy kid, and while he's met his counselor last year, this year he had a great during Meet the Teachers. He met the counselor, and she gave him a few, private conversation with 2 minutes, and he walked out of there like, I can't wait for tomorrow. And it felt so good.
That's great.
Because he felt confident, and this is somebody I just never have seen this side of him as strong. So I'm excited for him to work with them. So thank you, counselors.
So good. Ms. Houston.
So I get to go to the first day of school at a lot of schools, which I just love. I think it's just so happy. There's nerves and excitement and amazing outfits, and it's just a lot of fun. But coming here, I love it because no one does morning lineup at K5 like we do, and you just get this sense of community. People are talking, and it feels very different. So I just really appreciate that we do that, and I think it really does continue to build and grow our community.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Natomas Unified started today. True. Yeah. AW playing along.
Yeah, I think I'm with Katie. The vibe, the first couple of days of school has been really fun. Parents are thrilled to have their kids back in school. They like us. It feels good to be liked and appreciated. And it's fun. It's been fun this last couple of days, meeting some of our new students, talking to my 5th graders who are up in 6th grade now this morning with our behavior expectation, and all right, you guys are the big kids now. All the littles are looking at you, and they're like, okay. It's fun. It's a fun vibe. I love the first week of school.
Yeah, I love it. I will celebrate the families. It's a little bit of a piggyback on what you said, but boy, the energy on the blacktop this morning on day 2. You think it would trickle off. I mean, there was just a whole passel of people out there all the way down. It wasn't just the kinder families. It wasn't, I mean, all the way down the line, so many families out there on the blacktop. But I was at the high school on day one, and so many awesome families engaging at the high school. So many, like, roll down the windows and, like, good morning, we're so excited. It was the family vibe, kindergarten, all the way through 12th grade is really, like, plugged in and on point. And I'm hoping we could, like, leverage that into an amazing year of building community.
I will do two celebrations, both about the high school. One that occurred to me kind of out of the blue. My 11th grader has all male teachers. It occurred, which is pretty unusual. So I thought that was just a kind of a cool aside. I also really like the new signs at the drop-off area. Those are quite snazzy. I had to make a comment to Mrs. McIver about like getting at least one more car in there. So
You shouted out Block, who's crushing it. Lila McIver and her team at the high school, absolutely crushing it. Yeah, as noted.
I'll celebrate. I love Meet the Teachers. I think it's one of the better days. I don't think it gets like the recognition like Hope at the House and all the other days, but just the kids coming in, kids see the classroom. It's all super clean still right now, right? And then meeting the old teachers, it's just a festive time. It's a sad time too, knowing your kids are going back to school the next day. But a lot of parents are happy because they're in school the next day. But the campus looked great.
It did.
Parking was not very good, but
Yeah.
it's just like first day of school. But I think the teachers is awesome.
Yeah, shout out to the Clean It team, to Jose, Roe. The place looked really good for Meet the Teacher. Josh, you playing?
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate the first day of school because it makes me think what's next. Yeah. So I was thinking on the way over, teacher in space, check.
Check. Yeah.
High schoolers working on NASA projects,
Check.
check. We've got kids in Forbes magazine talking about AI, check.
Check.
So, yeah, I'm excited to wonder what's cooking this year. You guys always have something up your sleeve, and it's something that I don't think anybody else has done or is doing. So I'm excited with anticipation.
You're going to see Steve up in a hot air balloon at some point, just throwing money.
Oh, I would like
No,
to
it's
check
going to be pretty
that.
exciting. It's pretty exciting. Just with the egg drop.
Yes.
That's it. Egg drop from a hot air balloon. Write that down. Egg drop. Mr. Corby, you playing along?
Yeah, I was going to celebrate Meet the Teacher as well, actually. It's just a fun day, even though my kids are grown and flown, right? But just seeing the energy come back on campus at that moment of time. But also this year, things changed up a little bit. We had some community booths here. We had Agua Buena, we had a Froyo place, we had the splash pool. Jive was there, Wave was there. We had some of our school booths there. So just kind of bringing that element into this year kind of brought it up a little bit. So it was a fun day. It was a good time.
Yeah, shout out to the Wave team and Sandra specifically, who made the resource fair her thing. Man, that was a good ad. That was a good ad.
great. Any board comments for items not on the agenda? No? Okay, public comments.
There are none, but
Mrs. Mendez? Anybody at the high
Ms.
school?
Mendez, anybody at the high school?
There's nobody here wanting to make a comment.
Thank
Thank you, Ms. Mendez.
Okay, reports. And do we have a report from Wave?
We do. Let's kick it over here to our Wave president, Mr. Felix Flores. Let me see what the volume is.
Hi, Westlake Board of Directors. This is Felix, your Wave president. Excited to start off the year with you. So far, this will be a brief but hopefully helpful update of kind of what's going on with Wave. We spent the last few months kind of really making a planning sessions coming into this year, something that was a little bit different from the year before, where we took the June and July off just to kind of get ourselves to reset and realize that if we were able to plan ahead, we could get ahead of the curve with a lot of things. Being able to do so for this year has actually got us an advantage of being able to plan out almost all of our events calendaring wise, and then for volunteer assignments as well. Obviously, there's still a lot of collaboration and co-working with the school, with Olympic Triathlon and Fall Festival and such. But for our side of things, we've been trying to get ahead of the curve of being able to set up what we expect to be good events by kind of do some pre-planning. One of the big focuses of this year for us is to be able to set up some sustainable systems and documentation. Just planning to be my last year as president, with some unpredictability of whether the rest of the board will come on or not. We wanted to make sure that we had enough documentation, systems, and infrastructure set up in place, where if someone were to take over, starting at the end of the school year and beginning of next year, would be able to kind of pick up right where we left off and hopefully make a seamless transition. One of those areas that we're looking at right now is a website refresh. While our main communication, kind of threshold still is pointing people directly to the Westlake Weekly, having easier website signups, easier to read, better calendaring information, things like that from our end is what we've been looking at, and so we're hopefully going to have out in by the end of September a new website rollout for folks. And then I would say beyond that, events-wise, what we're trying to prepare for, we have a Wave Social that will take place August 27th at the Oasis at the high school. We found last year that our high school events were great exposure moments for the high school itself and actually created a lot of, I think, positive interactions and conversations about the high school and kind of where the future of the high school would be. So I thought it was great to shine a light on what Principal McIver and them are doing there. We have our board meetings now on the first Thursdays of each month. So we moved that from where they were the last Thursdays of each month. I think from planning wise, this will get us a heads up on what we need to do. And then obviously coffee talks are starting this Friday, and obviously first Fridays of each month working with the school. Olympic Triathlon will still kick off September 1st, ending on September 30th as a fundraiser. Other than that, I would say that we're in a good space overall. Obviously, if you have any questions, reach out at wavewcs@gmail.com. Appreciate your time. Hopefully everyone's gotten adjusted to the school year and getting our kids up on time to get to the classes. But take care. And then if you need anything else from me, I'm always available to you. Take care.
Okay, there's our wave report.
Great. Development, Nerali.
Sure, so development met in July to kind of have a website refresh of our donations and really push out the three, working with Dr. Ike and the school's model of really how to grow our community support, which is the opportunities to donate through fundraising, through family, through directly to families, and if anyone wants to refer a business. So we're hoping to see through that channel kind of grow our community engagement through direct parent engagement. So if anyone here obviously knows a business, please do go on our website to refer to us. Looking forward to having a new committee member joining as well this year, so we look forward to that. That's kind of the update.
Very good.
Thank you. I don't have any other committees on here. Finance didn't meet. Governance did just
governance
meet,
did meet,
and
but
they're
we didn't-
not
I don't
on
know.
there. We met. We discussed discussing the cell phone policy
Yeah.
and potential revisions to that.
Very good. And impact is not
Okay.
medicines.
All right. Then that brings us to the executive director report.
There we go. So, on tonight's agenda, what I try to do was put launching the strategic plan down here, because one of the things I heard last year was like, hey, we never know how long the meeting is, and so I'm really trying to shoot for my report to be around 30 minutes. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's an iterative opportunity to grow. So I took this and put it down here rather than embed it in there, thinking that then you would know, oh, if that's 30 minutes, then maybe that's another 30 minutes, and you could, I'm trying to buy myself. But the problem was then I just kept building slides. I'm like, oh, it's never going to stop. So let's see what happens. I have a few things to say. And let's see what it is. What'd you say? Yes. We've all been together a long time. Well, hey, I am delighted to be here, and I'm so excited that all of you are here. I'm going to start my timer. I said I was going to do that. I'm excited to be here. I think I am very optimistic about this year. I really do feel like as a school, as a board, we are in a really good place. Coming off of last year's strategic planning and walking into this year with this strategic plan, I'm excited. I'm excited about where we're at. Let's dive in. Summer intervention this year was a slam dunk. We had a great team. We had the kindergarten play date to get everybody used to coming together as a community before school started. Still before school started, we had our high school athletes all over this campus, all summer long. It felt like it's just so fantastic. We are really becoming kind of a 12-month campus. Back in the day we weren't. But with the high school involvement and now all the intervention work that we do throughout the summer, fantastic. Then you start rolling into the onboarding of new teachers. We have some fantastic new staff members. I cannot wait. I hope you all get an opportunity to meet all of our new staff. We have some amazing new folks this year, as well as three student teachers from 2 different universities. So really, we're kind of wanting to get back into that situation, bringing student teachers on. So just very exciting. Onboarding was absolutely well put together and well facilitated. And then you start onboarding students. You're onboarding the teachers, and now you're onboarding the students. Obviously, Link crew on the left, the amazing Susie Threadgill and her crew there. And then on the right is your web kids, your Where Everyone Belongs kids who are 8th graders and 7th graders shepherding in those 6th graders. So gosh, we love the web and Link leader piece. As you've heard me say in the past, it is really good for the freshmen. It is really good for the 6th graders. It is really not about them. It is about those leaders, those juniors and seniors, about those 7th and 8th graders. Gosh, it's such good leadership training. I just love it. Yeah, please. I'll just take it out of my time here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
On the day that the web orientation was going on, we had some time in the morning, and I love cruising the classrooms to see my former 6th graders there that are leading, and the way that they've grown from 6th grade to 8th grade. They're some of the shyest kids ever are like out there leading groups of 6th graders, and the 6th graders' energy's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It was really fun. They did an excellent job.
I saw a similar thing at Link Crew. A kid who as a freshman was like, was leading some Link Crew. I'm like, oh, growth is amazing. Yeah, I think Westlake does that well. I think we raise our students to become increasingly more confident. Yeah, I love that. Our welcome back of our staff, right? We had our first 5. I think our first 5 was well facilitated. I think our principals just crushed it on each campus. Really gave people the inspiration of like, we're going to have a great year, but also gave them the logistics and pragmatics of like, and this is what's expected for everyone to feel like they're doing a good job. Lots of great collaboration, and look at that photo. I think we look amazing. So yes, a wonderful first 5. This is maybe the belle of the ball for first 5. I think this is a Jessica Block thing. It might. MacGyver also grabbed it. It happened at both campuses. Every day there was a photo challenge. So I don't think there was a challenge of like pretend like you're at a Sears photo booth, but these guys crushed it. It was like, take a photo with your team. Take a photo of you high-fiving someone. Take a photo with somebody you just met. Take a photo posed as Everest, and then someone found Everest's head. I think that's Bucci. We even have a student teacher in there. Yeah, the photo challenge was just a great gag all week long. It fueled us every morning for morning roundups. They'd show the photos on the screen. Such good stuff. And then here it comes, right? It's senior sunrise. We're about to start the first day of school. There's the seniors. They're all painting their pants. Their pants all say class of 2027. It's just really fantastic, right? Here's an interesting, this happened this summer as the mural was mounted. And then first he sent me this picture. Here we are when this amazing student, Liliana, the president of the art club, presents this mural idea. This is back in 2024. She presents the idea. We authorize, go ahead, make the mural happen. She facilitates the art club coming together, painting the mural, and she came back to visit because she has now graduated and to see that mural be mounted. And there's a secret hidden message in the mural. So if you ever walk down past the mural at the high school, check it out, see if you can find the message. But these pictures just came in from first year today, and I said, oh, I got to throw those up there. It's so cool. Love the art program. 6th grade orientation. There we go. So Web is up and running. Freshman orientation. Link Crew is up and running. Here it is. It's Meet the Teacher. We're meeting the teacher. You get the resource fair at the K-8. You get the high school rocking. Then it's time. We're open up school, and the kids are lining up, and we're heading off to school. And then this just happened today. Steve, when did we order the kiln? Was it last month or was it a week ago? It was in January. And there's a little brick in the bottom of here that was the part that was missing. And we're like, hey, how can we get the kiln? We're waiting on this brick.
Can we just buy a brick?
Quick,
Those kilns that have 2.5
yeah,
inch bricks.
right, no.
This one has a 3-inch brick, and the 3-inch bricks are on delay.
Right. Steve can now write a dissertation on kiln bricks. And
Stack some 1-inch bricks.
but Mrs. Firsty, if you don't know who that is, Mrs. Firsty is our art teacher at the high school, and she launched, because we said, let's get a kiln. And she launched a ceramics elective in the course catalog, and it was the #1 most selected elective coming into this year. So she has the ceramics class packed and no kiln. And we're like, oh, wait, we're the kiln. And the kiln got delivered, and that smile right there, that is a 100-watt smile. She's like, oh, she's excited, and she's gonna do a phenomenal job, and we're all very excited about it. And yes, you can come. What do you call it when you don't get credit but you take the course? Audit. You can audit the ceramics course. Yes. We would all love that. It would be great. Let's start with strategic actions. We're going to just talk board website update and board goals update. I want to make sure that you, as we started this year, just kind of had what you needed. We'll spend the rest of the year kind of unpacking some of the stuff the school's doing. And Mrs. McIver did throw a birthday party during First Five for all staff because she says, I get so busy, I never acknowledge anybody's birthday. She brought a birthday cake. They all wore hats. It was hilarious. I recommended it for everybody. It was it was hilarious. It was great. I'm sure you know where the board website is, but that's the link, that's the QR code, and that's the site. It's, right, I'll click over to it, we can get to it. The site's been updated with all of our board meetings, committee agendas, our YouTube channel is there. The board calendar is updated, so you can click on that and get to what does the year look like this year. So as board members, all of your resources are here. Our goals are still here. I'll talk about goals tonight. There are last year's goals rolled over this year until every committee kind of does the work to prepare for what comes next. Sorry, I'll go back here. And then this piece right here is the All About Me page. If you've clicked on there and you've filled out what is your favorite this and what is your favorite that, there will be prizes, I believe, at the next board meeting for everyone who fills that out. So I'll be reminding you to fill it out and make sure, you... if you've already filled it out and you believe that the answers are still correct, then you may. We're still eligible. You're still eligible. But if your salty or sweet favorite treat has changed and you get the treat that you put on last year, I'm just saying. That's a big one. Kahigas was like, could you remind everybody about the All About Me form? So that's a big one to Kahigas right there. And then we'll talk about this tonight. The new strategic plan site is launched and it's right there on the site. I just put a red box around it. Click the All About Me form and fill it out because Kahigas really wants to make sure you know it's there. Thank you, Kahigas. You're the best. Let's roll into then the goals that we currently have established. These are the 25-26 goals for the board. We did roll them over, and they can be multi-year goals. We may elect to make these our goals again, but I want to start today in August saying this is what's on paper now. The governance team will review the board and executive director goals in September, just to review them and to say, hey, is it appropriate to roll them forward or is there something else that we should be touching? I want to look at each one tonight. This one says the board is committed to becoming regularly informed about the continuous improvement efforts and outcomes regarding academic and social emotional readiness, as well as providing feedback from diverse perspectives. We will accomplish this goal through these regular academic outcome discussions. As you know, this dashboard will be produced in October. So obviously we'll be touching that in October, but we'll be talking academics throughout the year. We'll also be talking about behavior as it applies to Action 2 and WASC Goal Area 2. So you're going to be hearing that this year, and that really touches this goal. So you'll be regularly informed about that piece. And the last one is Strat Plan reporting on Goal Area 4, which is social emotional readiness. We adopted a new SEL curriculum this year. We're going to have some special presenters come out from staff to kind of walk you through that. So you're really going to get a good eye on what's happening with academic and SEL this year. Any questions on Goal 1? Super duper. Goal 2, engage in a multi-year plan. I mean, this feels multi-year. This one's been, so here we go. A multi-year planning process toward charter reauthorization, including but not limited to WASC accreditation. Check. Strategic planning. Check. And then the charter renewal, authoring, and continual development of a facilities use agreement, which prioritizes the eventual construction of a permanent high school campus. We will be accomplishing that through engaging in the charter renewal authoring process. That's it. We did our WASC. We did our strat plan. Great work, everybody. It is now time for us to engage in charter reauthorization. We'll be submitting as early as this time next year. So a year from now. On this slide, have a quick little timeline just so you see it coming. This is what the year looks like. In October, we plan to have the entire petition marked up. The petition is the charter itself. So we'll take the 2019 petition, make sure it gets all marked up with all the elements. Then by December, January, we should have all the elements 1 through 4, then 5 through 15, like buttoned up. Like, yep, that's the revisions that we're talking about right there. The big the big opportunity here is taking that language that says, we're going to have a high school, and turn it into like, we have a high school. So what was aspirational, what came to fruition, what comes next? It'll be a fun little task, but we'll do that right there. It's important because by February, we want to have a full petition like in hand to hand it over to the legal team. Because they got to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that they undo all the creative stuff that we've done. And say, no, you can't be that creative. A lot of red lines will come back. By April, we'll have a petition document finalized. By May, there's a fork in the road. By May, we have our CASP scores starting to maybe trickle back in. You're going to find out later that we are going to be high track status, which is awesome. Hold that surprise. But if at this point, if we, hashtag no jinx, thank you. At this point though, if we get data back and it shows that we are going to be high track again, then there's no hurry. If we get the data back and we're like, oh, we're high track now, but next October we fell off in one area and didn't qualify, then we're like, we got to submit while we're still high track. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we'll add the data if it's helpful. We'll go to the board and authorize a submission timeline. So if it's like, oh, we're still high track, you guys, we're looking good, this board can go, well, then wait, you're fine. Or you can say, let's turn it in July 1 anyway. And then in July, the submittal window opens. So officially, as of July 1, you could start to submit, and the NUSD has 90 days to approve. And then in October, we would add the dashboard if we were submitting late. Does that process make sense? I'll walk you through it as the year goes, but I wanted you to have that story arc. Does that make sense? This one's not as input rich and heavy as strat plan, because now we have a strat plan, and that strat plan should guide the charter. So we're not going to be asking ourselves these deep questions about who we are, because now we think we know. Does that make sense? Note, high track status discussion included in the strat plan report later on. Hashtag no jinx. Board goal 3, strengthen community engagement at all levels of the organization, focusing on fostering community engagement from the classroom to the boardroom. Ensure that parent community engagement is leveraged to support our mission in alignment with the charter. So the WAVE team and the Westlake team kind of came together this summer and did a bunch of work around communicating this idea of what is collaboration. We've always focused so heavily on volunteerism by itself, but there's all these other ways to collaborate with our school that isn't strictly volunteerism. And so you'll see this language starting to come to fruition. And the goal here will be, obviously you have WAVE reports every month, but also these regular discussions around this year. Family collaboration through connect, engage, and contribute. And I've got a couple of quick thoughts on this. You know, we're trying to say the connection for our families is, hey, just show up. Be on campus. Be around other people. The fact that you were at Meet the Teacher meant that you bumped into other families. You are connecting with other human beings. Engagement is like being in the know of what's happening at school. Read the newsletter, listen to the podcast, or just know what your student is learning at school, and that is engagement. We actually are envisioning someday, maybe we're not just calculating volunteer hours, maybe we're engaging in collecting some type of engagement metric, because we believe that the more families are engaged, the better their kids do, not just the more they volunteer. So connect, show up and be part of it, engage, kind of be in the know on what's going on, and contribute, and that is families contributing as volunteers, bringing their cultural capital, their expertise, but also helping us out with fundraising and donations. It's kind of a 3-part how to collaborate with Westlake Charter School. And then throughout the year, we're going to use this language. Every week in the Westlake Weekly, it just says, hey, this is how we recommend you connect, engage, and contribute this month. And so in the August newsletter, you might have already seen, it says, hey, to connect, Start off the year right. Come on out to meet the teacher. Come out to back to school night. Meet some friends and some other family members. Hey, this is how we want you to engage. Really create a habit of reading that Westlake Weekly. And here's what we're asking for contributions. This month, we're kicking off our field lessons and school supplies, donations, competition, and we're doing class or grade level competitions that are outlined in the newsletter. And it includes kind of a new way to give. We have this weekly challenge going on, and we have this 3 ways to go. You can donate as a parent or a family member by just clicking on the link and donating. Or you can fundraise by taking that grade level link, sending it out on social media to friends and family and grandmas and grandpas, and they can donate. Or you can refer a business, and the Explorer Partners team or our development team will pick it up from there. So really excited about this type of family engagement and interweaving our language with WAVE. So all this language is co-crafted between Westlake and WAVE. We spent a lot of time in the spring doing strategic alignment between us. So I feel like we're all kind of trying something new together. Any thoughts, questions, or concerns on the 3 goals? Do I have them on the next slide? I don't. Let me go back to there. Or on that goal? Any thoughts? Super duper?
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it'd be fun. Gives us something to talk about.
I think that portion of the website, in my opinion, looked dramatically better. It was just streamlined.
Oh, cool.
There was new pictures. I just really liked looking at it, and it felt easier to understand. So I liked
The donations website.
Yes.
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 New pictures. Thank you. You gave us
Yes.
some feedback and helped us out. And it is a little streamlined.
It's streamlined.
Yep.
Yes. I just felt like it was laid out differently that I thought just looked modern and looked really nice. So.
And we now take
Good update.
different forms of donation.
Yes. I just think
donations.
it was a lot of great changes.
Yeah, and donations are slightly up right now, which is kind of cool. I mean, we're 2 days in the school, and we're almost reaching the 10% mark, which is off to a good start. Okay, I'll go for strategic actions into updates. I'm going to do enrollment, staffing, launching the year, supporting innovative practices, or an organization called SIP, and a charter folk update. Let's talk enrollment updates. You lean in on this one because I know you're all data nerds. You're like, let's get some numbers. Okay, K-8 enrollment, no surprise. We have 1,000 students, kindergarten through 8th grade, which means all seats are filled, and you have 1,158 students on the K-8 wait list. It is amazing. We're super, super lucky to have so many people wanting to come to our school. High school enrollment, also doing equally well. We have 130 ninth graders. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, gosh, don't we always kind of push for 150? That seems a little low. But remember, we had that small class that just graduated, and so we're actually works out good. You got nobody on the wait list here, but you're $140, $126, $106. That puts you at 502. So you're right at, we're still budgeted at 490. We're right at 502. If you slip below 500, you can get all the way down to 490 and still make budget. You have kids that you might pull out of 10th grade, but we're right at 500. We're where we want to be, and we'll just hold for a minute and see how it goes. We don't have as many freshmen as you'd want on the wait list, but that's still a good enough number. And look how many sophomores come in. I think we had 5 sophomores enter the wait list today. Yeah, really. The day school started at NUSD, 5 people entered our wait list, which was an interesting. You're like, oh yeah, well you show up at school and go, I want to try something different. Cool. Sorry. Any questions on that? No. I want to talk matriculation because I talk about it every year. From 5th to 6th grade, we're at 90%, which is 101 out of 112 kids went from 5th to 6th grade. Yeah, we were 87 last year, but a little flashback. Remember, in 2015, only 75% of the 5th graders went to 6th grade. But a lot changed when we got a facility, and although the high school matriculation numbers are holding around 50%, you wonder if you ever built that permanent high school facility, if that wouldn't solve some of that issue. So I will give you some high school numbers here from 8th to 9th. We're at 45%, which is 50 out of 112, which is 38% of the total 9th grade class. Now that's down from 2 big previous years and kind of flat-ish from this particular year. But it's a number worth watching. I think we thought that this particular 8th grade class was not going to matriculate strongly, and it proved out to be about what we expected. We had a lot of big groups of kids leave together to go do IB and things that they want to do. Early report on the freshman class, Steve Corvick? Yeah, the staff. Multiple different teachers just in the hallway. We're like, oh my gosh, this freshman class is amazing. So, yeah, we're hearing lots of good things about this freshman class. Any questions about that? From the staffing vantage point, we have 92 certificated staff members. We have 6 180-day certificated subs, which is good. We want that. 91 classified, 9 admin, so we're 205. Hashtag Westlake strong staff. So you now have a staff of over 200 people. For those of you who've been on the board for multiple years, like that number has grown and we are now over 200. Theoretically, it's as big as we're ever to get, but I think, a decade ago, our staff to pupil ratio was much smaller. So even though we're just 500 kids more than we were, that's not the total story. We have increased the number of staff we have per pupil here, right? Far more instructional aides, more support. Later you're going to hear about our brand new BCBA. Like, we've increased the number of staff who support our students. Steve?
Yeah, I would say also, coming into this year, we hired 2 SLPs, right, which are actually staff members.
Yeah.
Previously they were vendors, so those count under the staff numbers. So there's a couple of people that have come on board that are no longer kind of vendor type staff.
Yeah, we had several vendors who now are no longer vendors, and because we were able to hire 2 SLPs and a BCPA, which is really great. Speaking of vendor support, right, we still have the amazing Lawn and Order and Clean It. Let's go in. Hey, this is our first strategic plan data report out for the data nerds in the room. As you'll recall, we created these measurements, and on the strategic plan website, which I'll show you later, there is these dashboards with data. And so here's the first couple pieces of data that have been posted. The certificated staff retention is at 95%, which feels very strong. And our positions at opening are 100% staffed for certificated staff. That's really good. This time last year, I think we were still 1 short, and we're 92% unclassified. We've never really done this for classified, so now once we start writing it down here in this dashboard, we'll start to know next year and the following year, what's the trend? Is that normal? Is that not normal? Hard to know until you start writing it down. Any questions on that? Super duper. Okay, well, just, launch of the year. I love to acknowledge it. We went through its celebrations, but all the things that happened, we're only 2 days in. I mean, this is day 2. If you're optimistically exhausted, this is why. In 2 days, we had 6th grade orientation, meet the teacher, morning lineup, boo-hoo, wahoo, and kinder conferences. I mean, there's 1,000 things that happen at Westlake Charter School all the time, but the launch is a significant, exhausting lift. So everybody will sleep well this weekend. And at the high school, same deal, right? Link leaders, senior sunrise, the freshman orientation, meet the teacher, and the senior year launch assembly today. This kid's taking a selfie. I love this picture right here. I would like to just acknowledge that we applied to be a part of an organization who offers grants called the Supporting Innovative Practices, or SIP, and we are proud to say that we are a 2026-2027 SIP grantee. What is SIP? Supporting Innovative Practices. They are an organization that is state funded. They do a phenomenal work around inclusive practices. They only work with schools that apply to work with them, who are looking to take their practices to the next level. We called them and said, hey, in our strategic plan, we are looking to innovate around some of our full inclusion practices. We have grown quickly, and we have a model program. I act like we're applying to something where people don't know us. Janelle Mercado, who runs SIP, is very well aware of Westlake Charter School and sends people here all the time from SIP to come see how we do what we do. But we're like, hey, man, we're in a place where we're trying to get better, and they said, we'd love for you to be a grantee. And so we'll have this opportunity to have access to a team of experts to collaborate and It's collaboration and innovations centered, so they'll come out. They've already come out and done a multi-day view and visit of our school. They're going to keep coming out and trying to offer resources and support to improve our innovative practices. There's also some financial support included. They bring some money to the table to say, hey, are you going to send people to professional development? Are you going to bring in new resources? It's not a ton of money, but it offsets some of the cost of the work. If I got to pull 12 teachers into a sub day so we can do some work on something, this team helps pay for that. So it's very exciting. Really, the purpose is that we applied to do this work. You can see in the goals, action 2 and WASC goal area 2, we're talking about investing in systematic improvements in special education. So here we have some of the best people in the state of California to help us do that. And so we're lucky to be a grantee, and we're excited to do that work. In reality, as we launch this first year of the strategic plan, on the front burner is behavior, and we thought on the back burner is special education, because you could do everything you want, you can't do anything you want. So we think the first year as a grantee is a lot of not very visible work. It's a lot of the building structures, getting ready, so that as behavior starts to do what it does, we're able to go into step 2. So I really hope that work comes to full fruition next year. But we'll be working on it all year this year to prepare for that. And then any questions on that?
Awesome job.
Yeah, no, it's great. We're super excited. And then I just want to acknowledge this. Charter Folk is a blog and website authored by a national charter expert by the name of Jed Wallace. Does it ring a bell? Jed Wallace? Yeah, right? Yeah, you know that guy. So we have subscribed, all of our board members and our administration to this. If you're starting to get a weekly newsletter in your inbox, you're like, did John sign me up for something? We just think, this blog post offers regularly and timely information regarding, the charter movement. And so for those of us who sit on this board and sometimes forget that there is a whole movement of people out there struggling to keep their charter school open and alive and thriving, it's a good reminder. Every once in a while I'll read one of them and go, oh yeah, that's right. Like, we're 22 years in. Oh, that's right. There's still people out there fighting with, their district authorizer. We have this great relationship with our authorizer, but sometimes it's good to be reminded what the rest of the movement looks like. And so you have access to that. I just wanted to let you know that you have access. And that brings me to the close of updates right there. 2739. I mean, the floor goes back to you, Vice President Berman.
Thank you. That brings us to the consent agenda, which has one item on it, which is accept and approve the minutes from the July 9th board meeting. Any questions, or can I have a motion?
I'll move minutes. I'll second.
Thank you.
Hope is absent. Sean?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Sapir?
Yes.
Sally?
Yes.
Amber?
Yes.
Raleigh?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
I crushed it too.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Nice job. Okay, discussion items, launching the 2026 strategic plan.
Look at that. I haven't seen you in so long. It's good to be back on stage. You see why I did that, though? You see, now I can get more time. Everyone has a printed copy of the strategic plan. I will not walk you through, but I would like you to take this home and make sure you get a chance to peruse through it, because this is the final and published version. And, we're very proud of the way it's printed out in a full bleed, edge to edge. We love the pictures, the colors. I like that the work we did is really captured well in here. I'd like to kind of walk through some of the launch points of it, just so we're all on one page. Do you want a moment to notice anything? Is there a typo in there, Katie?
No, we're looking at the cute picture.
Oh my gosh, I know. The picture on the front, I just love it. Beth Root's right off the picture right here. She almost made the cut. She's right out there. Sorry, Mrs. Root. Let's see. I wanted to make sure again that tonight, as board members, that you have access. That so I talked about goals, so that we're all on the same page about what we're doing up here at 40,000 feet. We, as board members, often, and myself included, slip down into the weeds because we all love this place so much that we're talking about protocols, practices, and procedures. But as board members, we are supposed to be up here at 40,000 feet, and so I think our goals do that, and I think this strat plan helps us do that. I want to make sure you have access to it in its current version so that we can use it as a guide. I'm also going to kind of show you a few slides that I showed staff so you hear what they heard as this thing launches. And so, first of all, here on our board website, the strategic plan is located here. You can find it on our board website. You can also find it on the school website for families at home. So on the board website, it's right here, and that is a strategic plan site. It'll take you to a whole site, and I'll show you that site. And that site has metrics, and that is for us as a board, whereas the school website in the About section has it as a document that looks like the one you're looking at, right? So the public has access to the document. The board has access to a site, which also includes the document. And we can discuss over a period of years, like, do we want to make the board site dashboard more public or whatnot? I'm going to be reporting on it here in the board meeting anyway, but we'll just talk about it as we go. So let's take a look then at the strategic plan website. It has the strategic plan as a document. It has some background information. Read it, don't read it. I mean, but the background information is interesting. There's one little piece that Dr. Galloway and I wrote as kind of a note to nerds about like the qualitative and quantitative methodologies that were used. So if you're ever to replicate this study in the future, you'd be like, oh, how did they arrive here? So if you're kind of a data nerd, read it if you want the background information. It has measurements and outcomes, and it's right there on the clicks. When you click on that, you land here. So here's kind of what the site looks like. You can see the goals up here and the beginnings of a narrative right down there. It has links to the goal pages, a narrative overview. If you scroll down on this page 1, that's when you land here where the site is, where the copy of the plan and the celebrations and setback form is. So you click on that, right? You get that. So if you're looking for the strat plan, and I've been doing it a lot, you know, as I'm at my computer and I'm like, board website, I click on that right there. I've got the strat plan. So that's where I'm keeping the strat plan right there. Also, if you click right there, you get that celebrations and setbacks form. The administrative team will be using that on the regular to just say, hey, we'll click admin, and then we'll say, hey, what goal areas have we seen progress in? Or what outcomes have we seen progress in? We do that so that this strat plan doesn't become so quantitative metrics driven, like, oh, attendance went down by 0.21%. Like, the quantitative is important, but if we continuously narrate the things that we're seeing as celebrations and setbacks, we're leaving ourselves a story about how things are coming to fruition. So you'll see that on the site as well. We may do it here in the boardroom. We may click this and say, okay, guys, what's something that's going well or something that's having a bit of a setback around one of our outcomes, and we can narrate that together, and we'll see it populate. I'll walk you through it there. Each goal is linked right here on the landing page. It's also linked up here in the corner, right? In the little, what's that, the hamburger hot dog, little hamburger in the corner. You click on the little menu drop down, and the goals are up there, right? If you want to get to a goal, just click on it, and now we've landed on a goal page. So here's the goal. Here's the goal icon. Here's the outcomes. Then we scroll down on that page, and that's where you get to the metrics. So each metrics dashboard is per goal area. So as you want to peruse the data and go, hey, I wonder how we're doing in the area of staff retention, that's probably goal 1. And then you'd go to goal 1 page and look through and find staff retention right there. At the bottom of this dashboard, these are all the outcomes that you and I wrote in the strat plan. At the bottom of this, that's where the celebrations and setbacks are. So these celebrations and setbacks are in relation to these outcomes here. I think I put one in. Let me pop over to this. Unless it's boring, you tell me to stop if you don't want me to. I go to my celebrations, or I go to my strat plan page. I click on the goal area. I go down. I'm like, okay, I'm checking out the data. You know, imagine someday when this is all filled out for multiple years and you can see trend lines, right? A little trend line over here. Let's see what's going on with the celebrations. Okay, we demonstrate what's possible in the area of high levels of clarity and transparency around organizational practices. Admin organized and executed a solid first 5 that offered clarity of purpose, program, and protocols. Staff learned what we were going to focus on for the year and receive guidance on what they needed to be able to be successful. Just a little narrative that somebody wrote. It was me. I did it this morning because I want there to be data when you got here tonight. But like somebody said, in the area of like creating transparency around organizational practices, I think the first 5 did some of that. Is that super relevant, timely data? I don't know. But as leaders of the organization, if we start to see narratives that we can tie to these objectives, we start to understand the outcomes better because we're seeing how they're being interpreted by teams. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah, I don't know any organization that does this for tracking strategic plan metrics, and I'm in love with it. Because when the admin team gets together weekly, and when we started using the leadership team at the schools, and teachers were having to say, well, which outcomes are we seeing progress on? And someone goes, hey, actually, you know what? We did link crew and web, and that really ties to this social emotional, and you put it in there, and it reminds us, oh, that's right, we're doing a lot of things. That's why this place is working so well. So a lot of people I don't know anybody that does it this way, but I'm kind of glad that we do. Would you be interested as a board if we did an exercise in here where we had to articulate one? Be fun to try? Yeah, it'd be cool as one of the shared leadership teams as a board to put in what do we notice about these objectives and outcomes. All right, sorry, I'll get us back here. All right, so you have access to the goals, the outcomes, the descriptions, the measurements, the celebrations and setbacks. Here's a little peek behind the curtain. This is my last like nerdy slide. This chart right here goes on, and it's every metric that's in the strat plan. Each metric's been mapped to the calendar, so I already think I know when I'm going to report it to you. Each metric has been assigned to a team leader. Okay, Kaya, you got this one. Grunholz, Corvink, you got this one. John's got this one. And as the data rolls out, we may have staff presenting data which they help produce. So Jen Kayau is in charge of this metric, so she may come out to the board meeting and produce a report for you based on something that's on the strat plan. So I'm hoping to get more guest speakers out of the deal. Little peek behind the curtain. Okay, this is how I launched the strat plan this year to staff. I wanted you to see it, and I wanted our public at home on the YouTubes to have a chance to see it. We launched this theme this year. Together we are charting the way. Let's explore what's possible. And we think this is about the launch of the strategic plan, and I think you'll see that come together in just a second. You know, the strategic plan was us spending a whole year listening to one another. That's what we did. It was a big listening tour. And the plan that we produced is not a list, it's not a checklist, it's not a task list, it's not a traditional strategic plan. It really isn't. As you unpack this, it's different than other organizations, and it's not some corporate document that'll sit on a shelf and only manifest quantitative data. This is a story. The strategic plan we wrote is a story, and it's our story. This is our 5th strategic plan since we opened the school, and each strategic plan has been like kind of a chapter in our story. And at this particular juncture, we ask 2 critical questions. What do we believe? What do we value? And that's how the story begins. If you look at each goal area, the story begins with our beliefs and our values. And it really speaks about who we are, not like what every school should be. Not every school should be Westlake, but Westlake has some beliefs. We believe that individuals and teams must feel supported to grow, and that we believe we're better together. When we put that in there, we're not talking about students there. We're talking about grown, adult, paid human beings, and we're talking about them in a way that says they must be supported to grow, and that we believe we're better together. That's a story worth telling about our organization. Now, because we have shared beliefs and values, we can make shared commitments. And that's research-based, right? You read the 5 dysfunctions of team, it talks about this definitively. Shared beliefs and values leads to the ability to have shared commitments. Like we say things like we blueprint our curriculum and instruction and assessment practices to ensure the most successful methodologies and pedagogies across the organization. Any school could write that, but not any school has an Everest Academy filled with videos of our teachers teaching one another these best practices and methodologies. And so, again, like, this is a story about us, written by us, for us. The deal is that a strategic plan is supposed to produce something, and I'll go to some Axis superintendent's conference like in November, and they'll all bring their strategic plans, and theirs will be maybe more metric-y and data-driven, and people say, well, what does your plan produce? What percentage of test scores are supposed to go up this year? And I'll say, hey, ours produces outcomes that represent our beliefs, values, and commitments. Like, we have a strategic plan that says, what do we believe? What do we value? What are we committed to? And so therefore we can say things like, we want outcomes such as student connectedness, healthy relationships, a sense of belonging, and a positive student campus. Yes, do we have quantitative data? Yes. Do we have test score data? Yes. But I love that our outcomes are a reflection of our values. And so the last piece is like, great. So if you got it all figured out, like, what do you need a plan for? Clearly, we're the greatest school ever. We're perfect. We don't have to fix. Like, no, we don't have it all figured out. Our story has just gotten us here to where we are today. We're 22 years in. It's 2026. Our story has gotten us here. And this document describes who we are, how we got here, and, of course, where we're going. What I love about this is these are in the appendix. These aren't even in the plan, right? And I kind of love that. The plan is our story of who we are, why we exist, and how we exist. And in the appendix, we're like, oh, by the way, this is where we're going now. I said to the staff, these right here, it says goal-aligned actions and WASC actions. These are actions. They're not action plans. We did not go into some admin closet and craft out a 30-page appendices that says, first we'll do this, and then we'll do that, and the next thing's going to happen this. We don't do that here. Because if you read our beliefs and values, we believe we're better together. And so these two statements here about behavior, those aren't action plans. Those are like 91 characters in total, not 91 pages. And that's what makes this strategic plan a compass, not an action plan. Because the whole deal is we have got to chart what comes next together. So if we look at this icon that's on the back of the shirt that you received tonight, imagine the flag as like, that's it. That's positive student behavior. And we're at the bottom, and we've got to chart our way together, and we've got this strategic plan as our guide. It is a compass that points us in a direction, but doesn't tell us every bump in the road. We're going to have to do that together. And that's what Westlake does best, is we are best when we link arms together and get involved in shared leadership and make sure every voice is heard, and we will then explore what is possible. So I'm super excited to unveil this strategic plan in this particular way, because I think we did a good job. Now I'll tell you, some of the work's already begun, because by early spring, we had enough data that said, okay, there's some things to work on. Behavior, special education, compensation, some clear calls to action, some complex work that required shared leadership, and some coordination that couldn't wait till the fall, right? And you've heard about a bunch of it, but I'll put it on a slide real quick. Big kudos to you as a board. You guys addressed health benefits in a way that has never been done at Westlake Charter School before. Finance team, super appreciative. Addressed compensation in a legitimate way. Lots of good stuff. I have to tell you that where's the catastrophic leave bank has gotten so much genuine appreciation and gratitude. People are like, hey, wow, that feels like and yes, the compensation, benefit increase, pay raises, but the idea that as a board you said, yeah, we should do that. Thank you for doing that. I think it was a meaningful work. We obviously have jumped right into creating positive student behavior. We did not wait until the fall. The educational behavior consultant team came out. They had six observers over 2 campuses for a total of 16 days. When you put it all the number of days together, we have an observation report that came back from them that said Westlake's strongest asset is its culture, which I thought that felt true. And the work ahead is not to replace that culture, it's to build systems strong enough to support it. So the work we're doing around behavior is to support the type of work we currently do, but to do it with systems that help us with behavior. So the call to action is clarity and predictability. EBC helped us launch with staff this year. Our instructional aides and our program aides got a full day of behavior training. That's more training than they've ever received, ever. And there's this ongoing in-class and on-site behavior coaching we have with EBC. Like, it's tip of the iceberg, but from the IA perspective, it is more training than they've ever received here, and the commitment to continuously train them is going to really pay dividends. I don't know if, the vibe's good around that. The vibe is really good around that. So it's a good start to the work. Structures that we put in place, we have welcomed Dr. James Young, who is our new board-certified behavior analyst. He is a BCBA. We have used an outside vendor for our BCBA services over the last multiple years, but we're lucky enough to hire Dr. Young, and he's already like everyone's favorite guy. He is amazing and doing incredible work in helping us understand behavior and respond to student behavior in new ways. We welcomed a third counselor at the high school to help with MTSS case management. As Reese Ornelas left the organization, we love Reese and we'll miss Reese, we brought in a third counselor, and we're very excited to see that team grow. And the K-8 team has grown its outdoor behavior team in a new way. So there's a person who's kind of managing the middle school side, somebody on the elementary side, and somebody on the cafeteria blacktop side, and they are coordinating in a new way to really address behavior in a clear, predictable way for outdoor behavior. Super excited about that. Stop me if there's any thoughts, questions, concerns about any of these topics. It's been a busy summer, as you can see. Yeah, so I'll get through a couple. We'll be done, I promise. But
I just want to share one thing.
Yeah, please.
We went to go visit some of our my kids like to visit every single one of the teachers they've had so far in kindergarten, and we already met an instructional aide in the new kindergarten classrooms, and it's just like, you can just see their engagement with the families, and we went way later and we didn't have kindergartners, but it was amazing to see them and see shifts going on with instructional aides, changing different classrooms, different educational backgrounds.
yeah, it's a good call out. I had it on a more developed slide, and I actually, believe it or not, did actually cut a slide. But we've done something new with the instructional aides this year at the kindergarten through 8th grade side of the house. First of all, kindergarten has one aide per classroom. So the first time we've done that for 21 years. I mean, so we have an aide in each classroom there, and then we've localized instructional aides at each grade level. It has been practiced in the past where this instructional aide supports my grade level and then supports your grade level a little bit, but then your aide has to go on lunch break, so that IA goes to your grade level, gives your guy a lunch break, and this year they've tried to localize it, so like, this is my team. These 5 teachers and these 2 instructional aides, this is our team. It's not perfect yet, but we're already going, it should improve behavior because we'll have more consistent and predictable adults in each grade level. Thanks for the shout out on that. As you've heard, we've already been starting to work on the systematic improvements for special education in a couple of significant ways. We are a SIP grantee, which I'm excited about that, and I told you about that tonight. But we are piloting Teach Town, which is a modified curriculum for students with extensive needs at our high school. And on the K-8 side, we heard a lot about behavior and special education through the strategic planning. You'll recall that, right? But on the high school side, the big call out on special education was the need to modify curriculum for students with extensive needs. I teach chemistry, which is a pretty high level class, and I'm trying to modify it down to the first grade reading level. And it's really hard as a teacher to modify a curriculum, but the higher up you get, the closer to college you get, the harder it is. And so we're piloting the Teach Town modified curriculum.
And then they're also modifying for otter, so it's like you're
100%. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. But this is that iterative growth opportunity of like, oh yes, one more thing that can help us do it. And then investing in support. Oh, I didn't cut this. That's what I just talked about. I thought I cut it. Investing in support in different ways. So super excited about that. We've also, as I talked about, instructional aides getting more training than they've ever received. This year, we have purchased a nationally recognized curriculum called Parabytes for para-educators. bite-sized professional development tools. We've imported them into Everest Academy and added some of our own resources so that they are our own. And instructional aides will be getting regular professional development all throughout the year, increasing their skills as para-educators throughout the year. So it's much like the teachers, we have every other week professional development, and now we'll be doing that type of work with instructional aides as well. This, I think, is my last piece on this. We're using the strategic plan to create clarity. I mean, one of the big call-outs in the strategic plan is creating role and responsibility clarity, programmatic clarity. The admin team's already begun this conversation in the background, asking ourselves, like, what do we, as a school, intentionally lead? What are we doing as a school? Make sure we're able to document and clearly blueprint what do we do and what's kind of pot roast. What do we just do because we've always done it? We need to get clear about what it is we think we're leading and who leads what. If everybody leads everything, sometimes nobody leads anything, right? And so it's really important to be like, okay, you've got this and you've got this. And then how do we intend to lead? We think it's important at some level to blueprint what is good leadership, because I think we've grown this school through this paradigm that if you read that strat plan, that people deserve support. People need support to grow. That growth for our staff is as important as growth for our students. And I think we've got the right administrators on this team right now. And this is the time for us to document how do we intend to lead so the next iteration of us, right? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we're still saying, no, this is really important, that leadership matters in a particular way. And so, that should lead to creating empowered team members, teachers, instructional aides. Everyone should be empowered to, with agency because of this work. And so one way or one structure to help with that clarity is to make sure that everybody's very clear about roles. And so I'm proud to introduce Jennifer Kayau and her new role as the Senior Director of Curriculum Instruction and School Leadership. As Emily Batten left, we had a big conversation about what are we leading, who leads what, how do we intend to lead. We said, okay, people need to know where to go for curriculum instruction. Okay, Jen Kayau. People need to know, if I'm talking to the principal, who's the next rung on the ladder of the principal, school leadership. And so you look at Jen Kayau, you go, okay, I see it. You got the executive director. Jen is a senior director. Katie Davis is a director. And that type of clarity is helpful for people. So I want to make sure that we all understood that. We have clearly been playing the long game, right? We are about to reauthorize our charter, and we've been trying to get to high track so we could skate to the puck to this moment. We couldn't get to this moment until we built out the WASC plan. So we got the WASC plan done. We're like, oh, good, we're done. Just kidding, we're not done. Then we built out the strategic plan. We're like, oh, thank goodness, no more talk about this. Just kidding. And now it's time for us to write and submit our charter petition, and that's what we're doing this year. Now, as I say write and submit our charter petition, you're like, charter renewal. We've been talking about that. And so here comes the big slide. Charter renewal status, hashtag no jinx. Okay. If you say hashtag no jinx, then it can't be jinx. So go ahead and say that. Hashtag no jinx. Great. There you go. Nothing could possibly go wrong now then. I said this to staff. I'm going to say it to our board tonight. I will confirm it in October with actual dashboard data, but we've checked it thrice. I mean, we've gone over it. We hired Jim Scheibel, who's a wonderful friend of ours and consultant, and said, hey, look at all of our data. I don't want to say this out loud until we're certain. And we seem certain that we performed each of the 3 tests required. Test 1, did Westlake Charter School outperform the state of California in math, English language arts, English language performance index, college and career indicator, and science? Yes, we did. So we outperformed in all of those areas. Our data looks absolutely clean. We checked twice on the college and career indicator because we had to call Natomas and be like, you report our data. Could you go and look and make sure you report the data correctly? We believe we outperformed the state. Test 2, did the following student groups outperform the state of California in each of the above categories? Student groups being African American students, English learners, Hispanic students, socioeconomically disadvantaged students, students with disabilities. And our data says yes. In fact, do you remember last year I said, hey, you have to have 3 of 5 make it, and we had one group that didn't make it, English Language Arts. That was our prediction, and we just reviewed the data again, and our prediction was wrong. That group actually made it. So all 5 groups actually made it last year, and now all 5 groups have made it this year. And so then the third test is, has the school met the above for 2 consecutive years? And because I've been talking your ears off about it for 2 years, you're like, yes, we have met it, we know. So it looks as if Westlake Charter School, as of October, will be a high track charter renewal status, which our teachers have done a phenomenal job, our instructional aides, our families, our students, the admin team, all of the work behind the scenes intervention. Like, we should be proud of ourselves. This is ushering in a very exciting era that's been a long time in the works. It was 3-4 years ago when we got our first dashboard red, and we all went, what just happened? And we just didn't understand how that system was operationalizing, and now here we are, in English Language Arts will be blue again this year. So what could this mean for our school? In October of 2026, Westlake Charter School may be granted, see I put may, hashtag no jinx, see I did that, high track renewal status. The criteria is based on progress toward closing the achievement gap. Criterion 1 is one thing, criteria 2 is another thing. You recognize that criteria 2 is about closing the achievement gap. Why does that matter? I don't know when the last time you read the 326-page charter, but the charter that we wrote talks about closing the achievement gap, and here we are walking into our charter renewal with data that says, congratulations, you're one of only 17% of the schools in the state of California deemed high track, and you did it based on performing the thing you said you would do in your charter. That's impressive work. So congratulations. That's really cool. We will be qualifying for an automatic 7-year renewal based on this. So we're going to write our charter as a high track. We'll validate it in October, and we'll come around the horn and try to submit early and see if we can't get an automatic renewal. It's very exciting. So when I say together we're charting the way, congratulations. It's been really hard work to get to here, but we put our eyes on the prize and we worked toward it, and I'm glad we're here. Houston? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, I know, I didn't want to ruin the.
No, go, yeah.
I know.
What do you got?
I just have one question. Outperforming the state, is that like, is it overall? Is it like an average? Like, how
It's
does
in
that,
each of these. Yeah, let's go back here.
How
Yeah,
does
it's a good
that-
question. So in math, it is a distance from standard.
Okay, so that's how
right?
they're doing it.
Mhm,
Okay.
Yeah, distance from standard. But in science, it's based on science points.
Okay. And so it's not like.
I don't know what those are.
It can it be like one grade level doesn't, one grade, like.
Yeah,
because
good question.
it's-
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Distance from standard and distance from standard are whole school conglomerate
Yes.
data points, right?
So then it's whole school. That's what I thought.
Right, whole
Okay.
school there. English language performance index is based on,
yes.
yeah, and that indicator, which down here, these students here, this is nerdy, but you'll love it. These students here have to outperform English learners across the state in math and English, right? That's what that's asking.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a data anomaly last year from our predictions to the actual outcomes. We're like, how come our outcomes are so much better than our prediction? Like, what did we read wrong? And what we learned this year was because it includes RFEP students who are reclassified. And you remember the last couple of years, we reclassified a ton of kids, and they were crushing it. And so their data is actually included in it. So these kids are like way outperforming the state in these two categories. However, and as you know, like this is not distance from standard, right? That is just a numeric value of a percentage of students who met a particular criteria for college and career readiness. That's shifting this year, though. So it's kind of got a new metric inside of it. And then the science point is just hilarious. So it's just, what's the science point? Nobody really knows. Does that answer that? Yeah. We can nerd out. I'll bring lots of slides. Any other thoughts, questions, or concerns on that, team?
My favorite part of all that is the live data for celebrations and setbacks.
Yeah.
And I know you tend to incorporate a lot of that into your executive director report when we do surveys and things like that. Is there a way we can incorporate if there's a theme building, something along those lines in celebrations and setbacks into the executive director report, assuming it doesn't bring us down below 40,000
Sure,
feet.
yeah.
Assuming it stays at a board level, where
Yeah.
it really, digs into kind of our goals,
Yeah.
things of that nature, and also give us an opportunity for me to see the celebration.
Yeah.
It's also nice to see that as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, as you say it out loud, I start to think about like the annual report that we're going to be producing in July that puts all that. Let's go to that real quick. If we go to this data here, this is once all 5 goal areas are going to have all their data compiled by June. In July, we'll produce a board report that'll summarize the whole year for you. But it'd be really cool. We'll probably use a little AI to do that with us, to like say, hey, could you grab all of these and triangulate them with these and give us a little feedback, and I could maybe include some of that in the report. That might be kind of cool. As these populate, I wonder if they do make some cool board report items, like, hey, here's 5 quick things that came up in the last month, straight out of the strat plan. Yeah, I love the idea.
Yeah, assuming it keeps us at a board level.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And I think a lot of these are somewhat celebrations. If you go back to the celebration slide deck, every one of those things somehow ties to who we think we are and how we think we're performing. So yeah, it would be interesting to try to triangulate that. Good call,
Well,
Josh.
and I think it would also be great to be able to see the celebrations and celebrate them from the board level.
Yeah.
Not just focus on setbacks, but
Yeah.
celebrations as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little thing down here around like Domina Stamus, who's a teacher at the high school, who's a teacher in space, made this comment. She says, gosh, I was at a conference or somewhere. I sat next to a teacher from another school. I won't name the school, but she did. It was a local school in our region. And this other science teacher said, oh, you're from Westlake? Do you know at my school, the principal puts up your Westlake data and says, hey, guys, these people are just down the street. If they could do this, like, let's try to do this. And this teacher asked our teacher, how do you do it? Like, how do you do it? And the funny thing was, it was like, it's really hard to articulate. It's not a curriculum. It's not a single, like, oh, every teacher has to do this. It's complex, and it's all spelled out in these types of narrative, like, look at what we celebrate all the time.
Well, it's culture.
It's culture. It's so complex, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, let's try to capture it. I love that. Any other questions, comments, or concerns about the launching of the strategic plan? Hashtag no jinx. Heading back to you, Sean.
Thank you. I think we'll go out of order just a tiny bit because we have a closed session coming up. So we'll look for future agenda items next.
Good call.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
I do believe we'll have a report from one of our team members regarding our new social emotional learning curriculum. It'll probably be a discussion item or a report out. Just want everybody to have access to Character Strong.
Great.
I have one thought. I remember last year we talked about the students that created that, I want to say it's a chessboard, I could be
Yeah,
completely wrong.
yeah.
I know we had talked about bringing them,
Yeah, well, I want to graduated, but we do have another set of kids who created artificial gravity, and they entered what's the movie?
Hail Mary.
Thank you, Project Hail Mary. Oh, did you collaborate with this? Yeah. You want to tell us about this? What are those kids making? Where are they going next?
Okay, they had to make a model of the spaceships with Rocky and Grace, and put them into zero gravity. So they had these modules. They had the walkway that went in between the spaceships. They put marbles inside. They had a little, I think it was an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
They had a motor, and they did all this mathematics and physics to figure out what speed to spin it at and rotation so that it would create the conditions for zero gravity. So Miss Stamos then came to our 6th grade science classroom. demonstrated for us what zero gravity meant, did a little science experiment with hands-on with my kids. Her students from the astronomy club led it, and they made a video of the interactions with her students sharing the process and their project with my students, and my students were in there cheering and let's explore and asking questions, and she submits this video to the organization, and that's how she
The
gets
Hail Mary Project.
The Hail Mary Project. She now gets to take her model and go and get into a capsule that puts her in zero gravity.
Yeah. They're legitimately taking a Westlake Charter project into zero gravity to test whether or not the experiment could create gravity.
Video.
Yeah, we should. I tried. I threw it into the celebrations forum. So yeah, I'll bring that video back. Yeah, love it. Yes, more student presentations. Future agenda item. Got it. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, reflections.
What worked well, or what would have worked better if?
I'll start.
Yeah, sure.
I liked the entire presentation you just did, but there was one piece that really spoke to me, which was the quote from the behavior people about that our strength is our culture.
Yeah.
And I kind of got tingly about that. That really spoke to me.
Yeah, I love that too. Sever?
As my first time going through the charter renewal, thanks for bringing that up, and the streamline process, that really helps out, right? I don't know how it was done before, but you breaking it down, how we met the criteria, and how we're #no jinx on the high track standards, that really helped me out, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Josh?
I wish we could kind of reincorporate Wave's presence a little more into the board meetings, as we're trying to, align to the same goals. I kind of miss the days when they would present, gave us opportunity to ask questions, things like that. I know they're a totally separate entity, a totally separate board, and respect that, but it also gives us an opportunity to celebrate them a little bit.
Sure.
And kind of bring that back together. So I do just kind of miss that bridge that we used to have a little bit.
Yeah, it's well spoken. So yeah. I'll see if we can't bring some representatives back out. Steve?
Yeah, I think the #no jinx.
Yeah,
Right? 17%, right? Charter schools. There's only about 180 schools in the state, right, that qualify for high track. So
Yeah.
again, #no jinx. It's excellent news.
Yeah,
Great
it's
job.
really excellent news. Sally Hubbard?
That was exciting. Lots of good, positive news, and starting the school year out just feels so positive and exciting, and I specifically appreciated the broader view of the people we put in place and the structures that are set up for our support. So the IAs, kind of drilling down a little bit, the IA support feels so good this year in a way that it hasn't the whole time I've been at Westlake. There's always been like, we haven't been able to hire at the beginning of the year, or someone leaves or change. There's always been this like discombobulation around our IA population, but this year it's organized, it's thoughtful, it's deliberate, and the training that they receive, they're sponges.
Yeah.
And they're like, please tell us how to be better and how to help. They want to help. That's why they're taking these jobs, and they come into our classrooms and we're going 100 miles a minute. And now they're getting training and resources to understand what they can do in our classrooms, and you see it.
Yeah.
You feel it, and it feels good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
I was thinking of two things to see this in copy form feels really good. I'm like, there it is, it's happening. The other thing was the collection of narratives. I think the potential of that. I was thinking about I'm supporting with onboarding, and I'm like, oh, that I could type that in. So allowing shared leadership, the board, admin, making sure that stays alive, because I think that that's really valuable.
Yeah, just on that note, on the celebrations and step back form, there is a shared leadership button this time.
I noticed that.
So it's really clearly hey, what team you on, onboarding, right? There's a thing there. I'm going to try to roll that out to our shared leadership teams.
Yeah.
Hey, PBIS, if you're doing a thing, you can. So we're going to try to get that off the ground on this time around. So yeah, I love that. I love that. Ms. Patel? It's, yeah, it says, what works well, what would better if?
I, fifth year on the board, and like every year, there's always something new the school is bringing at you, that your entire team, and it just feels so good. This year especially is feeling, even more exciting, and I don't lose that excitement every year after year when it comes to those kind of things. So I just can't wait to see more exciting things. I think everything worked well. I'm looking forward to all the crazy changes that you guys have been working on the last 2 years, and really seeing a lot of reflection already from the stuff down last year.
That's exciting.
Great.
Yes, you did.
What worked well for me was all the data. I really like feeling things, but data is how we make sure this is going the right direction.
Yeah.
So I think you do an excellent job giving us all that data, and then obviously tracking it, because we're not here every day, and we're not gonna be able to track it. And I like seeing the numbers, like you can see growth. Looking at, like you were talking about how many spots are filled. So it's 100% certain, and then 95. That's
Right.
fantastic. So I just think that data is nice to see, and it just goes to show all the work that's happening here.
Yeah. I'm excited about creating this consistent methodology to collect data. I'm excited to see what we feel like 3 years from now, even if the data is just kind of flat. Just to have multi-years of like what percentage of classified staff members were hired by day one, 4 years from now. I'm just interested. It will tell a story. It'll be interesting. Are you playing? What worked well? What worked better if?
It works well that Steve knows when it's getting stuffy in here, and he looks at me and I go, yes.
Yeah, good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's
That's
good
good.
to see the stuff. You're welcome. It's good to see the stuff that's happening on the behavior side as a selfish need and a selfish vision, or vision of where we've been and what we've been in and where we're going. It just feels good to know that there's data behind the things that I say, John, I think and I feel, but to have the data that supports it and validates, well, I am seeing and feeling these things, and then he jumps in and says, well, we need to look at this and fix it, and so it just feels good to be part of fixing.
Let's get the fix. I'd say what worked well was the leadership of Sean Berman. I don't think it is it's not a nothing burger. Hope sits here all the time and does the deal, and when she steps out, I'm like, whoa, you're in charge, Boston. You crushed it tonight, so good job.
Thank you. It's nice to have a script.
That's right. That's right.
So with that, we will be adjourning into closed session. The board, and we will be doing only one item, which is the conference with real property negotiators. The second matter has been resolved. I do not anticipate any report outs, or reports out, I guess, or a report out. Any reports will be captured in the meeting minutes. Can we check for public comments one more time, please?
Still no public comment.
Oh, I thought you had one. I was like,
I know,
whoa,
it's like,
whoa,
a
whoa,
public
whoa,
comment.
I'm excited for minute
So
2, but it's
exciting.
there's a request for
Okay. In that case, we will adjourn into closed session and send it back to you.
Excellent. Let's sign off the YouTubes. Good night, Paul Jacob. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Like a hot air balloon is floating off into space. Here we go. And